Hello, I'm William Gallagher and this is the 58 Keys set of workshop videos. Ordinarily, right, I'm a writer, you're a writer, I tell you how I happen to write something and then I ask you to please disagree with me in the comments. I don't see the point otherwise. This has got to be a conversation, otherwise it's just me gassing on and I already know what I think. In this case, it's more than how I happen to do something, it's how I have come to find essential about it, which start from the top. How not to pitch to an editor. No, wait, that sounds too grandiose. Let's make it this. How not to pitch to me. And this is a case where, well, obviously you can disagree with me in the comments. Of course you can, but you're never going to change my mind on this stuff because this has wound me down over years. And it just happens that I want to talk to you about it now because in the last few months, well, on the one hand, I've been particularly fraught with overlapping deadlines and things, but also I've got a ton of these things, these pitches that, I mean, all right, since I'll tell you this. This is the fourth go at this video because this stuff got me so wound up trying to tell you that I may have been less than polite at things. Okay. The thing is, I want to be polite and I want to be nice because, you know, it's you, I'm just talking to you, you're not doing these things, but also, ordinarily, what I think is if you don't happen to know something, you don't know it. That's it. How can you not? But the things I want to talk to you about today are things that you should know. If you go to do what these people try to do, you should know this stuff. It's a self-inflicted wound if you do not do this. And the fact that you don't do certain things is just like a siren to me that you are not a writer and that you should not be hired for it. I mean, you do this and I know, I mentally I've rejected you before I've even got halfway through the email for it. But before I tell you that, let me try to stick to some of the nicey nice stuff. Give you an example of the fact that in last 10 months, 12 months, something like that, I can think of 3 cases where total strangers have emailed me out of the blue, and not only did I say yes, I said yes as close to instantaneously as you could. I mean, I'm working away, overlapping deadlines, just so fraught at the keys, and a little notification comes up in the corner, and you sit corner of the eye and think, actually, that looks quite interesting. Take a sec, read the email, respond immediately with a yes. In fact, actually, I seem to remember in each case saying yes, very, or very yes. And I may even have said please at one point. The ideas were just right. What those people did that was so right was this. Well, I mean, you can gather, because I said it was in a notification, that it was quite short, so I could see enough to be interested in reading the email, but then the email itself was short. Then they were always asking about an article. They did the right thing, chiefly by doing this. They asked the right person. Yeah, at that point, at that time, for these things, I was the editor to approach on that publication. They wanted to write on a certain publication. I was the one person to approach, so they did. I think that's stunningly obvious. I think that goes without saying. I don't think that's, you know, night follows day obvious, except it is. I was going to say it's more like evening follows morning or something, but I'm confusing myself with that one. It's incredibly obvious, right? It's, you don't write to the wrong person, and yet so many people do. Just at the moment, just extra flood of them for some reason. One more thing about the good stuff, the people I accepted before I go further into the weeds with this. They also pitched article ideas that worked for that publication. And again, is that not just stunningly obvious? What the people who do this wrong with? Well, first and currently the most common thing is they will email me, sometimes actually asking me to employ them on a site or a magazine or something like a staff position. More often it's they want to write an article for me. Well, that's very nice. But in the particular case of the ones I'm getting most at the moment, I'm not the person to ask. You're thinking, if you don't know, you don't know, and I would like to say that, but in this particular case, God, you should know, because the site that I'm on that they're thinking about is extremely apparent about what they want you to do if you want to pitch. You know, they give you the exact name, the exact email address, and I think they even say what they do and don't want for it. I don't believe you could make it plainer unless you put it on the front page in front of every article. When you email me on it instead, what you're telling me is you couldn't be bothered to read this site that you think is, oh, so fantastic that I'd really like to. Yeah, bollocks. You know, you've looked at it, you thought, seems easy enough, I'll do that. And rather than bother looking around the site at all, you clicked on my name on it because that happens to be the one that was in front of you at that time. No more thought, no more consideration than that. You're wasting my time. You're also wasting yours, really, because you've signaled to me the pointlessness of even talking to you, and you'd better not say you're detail oriented, okay? And then, or invariably, people who do that also do this. I can't actually tell you which, it's a website, but I can't tell you which site it is. I work on, so let's say I happen to write articles about football. Sorry, just the idea of me writing about football. I write about football. Next, serious face here, William. And these people who email me as the wrong person always invariably pitch something like, really important article, be absolutely great for your readers, on trout fishing in Quebec. Okay. It's like, if you hadn't already demonstrated to me that you didn't read the website, you've just underlined it there. It's just the pointlessness of it. Okay, you right there and then, guaranteed. I mean, I used to reply to people like this, but now I've just stopped doing it. There's so many of it. And then they also do this. This is new and invariable, inviolate, it seems, and it guarantees I hit the junk button instead. If that topic isn't right for you, just tell me what you'd like me to write. Yeah, right. Why don't I just write the article for you, and then you can send it back to me and stuff. Total stranger. I'm never going to. I mean, if we are working together, when I am the right person and we are working together, I will remember what you're good for, and I will come to you when I need an article on a certain thing. But in this, I'm never going to come to a total stranger and say, "Oh, please let me entrust pages of the magazine or space on the website front page." To someone who I don't even know if they'll deliver, and who I do know is extraordinarily amateur with the research and things. I'm getting aerated again here. Calmness, serenity, light. Two more things. One is, it's also, I think, de rigueur, anybody who does this does it a lot. I get emailed over and over again. It used to be I would have this thing that was kindly emailing you again, and then suddenly it changed and it became gently emailing you again. To whom are you being kind? Exactly. To whom are you being gentle? Just junk. Did have this one guy, I think it was a man, can't remember now. I was away from my office doing recording sessions somewhere, came back and looking through the pile, there was an email saying the usual nonsense, wrong person, wrong topic, just, and badly written email as well. Just, yeah, please go away. But that would have come in first thing in the morning while I was away, but then I could see about an hour later, there's another one saying, so, what did you think of the idea? And about an hour later, I'm kind of still waiting. And there were two more. And remember, the end of the day one, just before I got in and seen any of these, there's one going, well, if you don't want to work with me, yeah, no, I don't. Last thing. Less common, but it seems to be on the rise, and I really wish this one would stop. If you don't want to hear any more article ideas from me, just reply with the word unsubscribe. Okay. I presume they think that's professional, but I'm in Europe. Most of those people who write are too. GDPR rules. You're just telling me that you have added me to a mailing list without my consent. You could be fined for this. Also, you've put me on a mailing list and now I have to take myself off it, do I? No, I push the junk button and I never see you again. It's not that I think these people are bad writers necessarily, except no, actually, yes, I do. The standard of care of a writer for it is absent in all of this. But there's a knock-on effect. You can see how this really gets to me for it. Right now, overlapping deadlines, all this stuff, these pitches come in, and it doesn't matter whether it's one of the good pitches or the bad. I see a pitch and I sink. And it's like, and I thought, just end of the day. stuff. Even now, even when the notification looks like it might be all right, just no. And you leave it to the end of the day, and by the end of the day, you're knackered, you don't get around to it, so it's a couple of days. And maybe I should always leave it a couple of days and see whether I get one of these emails for it. But the thing, I've pitched to people, you have to pitch to people. This is how we get on, and yet there are these others who just get in our way. They are creating a wall. If they might, in the olden days, they were the people who would write in crayon and things, and it drives me insane for it, to the extent that, like I say, this is the fourth go at telling you all of this. That's how wound up I get about this. And I know I shouldn't, but I also know these writers should at least do something. I mean, you understand what it's like wanting to write. I do. It's one of the reasons I like talking to you, because we get it. We understand the impetus for it. So I get that these people have that desire, but they're not ever going to succeed with it. And that's miserable for them. And I'm not sorry, because they are choosing to do this to themselves. And, you know, before this becomes, I need to do a fifth recording of this, let me shut up there and just say thank you for putting up with the trembling throat, neck muscle rant kind of thing. Obviously, if you disagree with me in the comments, go ahead, but look at my face. Are you ever going to get me to think that someone who writes to the wrong person with the wrong thing at the wrong time badly and is then rude about it has any chance at all with me? Yeah, shut up now, William. Thank you for watching and putting up with this. Take care of yourself. I would say don't do any of the above, but you won't. Just, you know, write better. That sounded wrong, like you won't listen to me. I mean, you're a writer. You know how this works. These people don't, and they are getting in your way. So, for you, please take care of yourself. Write more of anything, whatever you need. We need this writing stuff. Get it done. Get it out there. And I will talk to you soon in a more calm way.